please kindly do
Sorry,
the
Dad.
needful. Instead of like, can you accomplish this task for me? He's like, please kindly do the needful. I was like, I've never heard this phrase before, and multiple people are using it.
I've not
Were they
heard
out
that
of
one.
Europe?
I've never heard that.
No, I think they're from India.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. Well, like, yeah. I mean, that's my guess is that's a different language culture thing, or like some
Yeah.
weird trans. That sounds like a translation that got wonky.
Like an idiom that doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any hoozle.
Playing cards, reading a book, eating some mushrooms, going to sleep.
I just curl up underneath this.
You can eat mushrooms. We had chicken and it was fantastic.
The night
Great.
passes uneventfully.
Trying something new.
Sturgis wakes first and comes over to Wallace and shakes your shoulder gently. I believe if the intention was to leave prior to the sunrise, now would be roughly the right amount of time if your presumption was correct.
Oh. Boys, time to get up. Sparkles.
Five more minutes? 5 more minutes?
No,
All right.
we must go now.
Where are we going? Straight up?
No, we clearly don't have time to waste because we're about to travel back in time thousands of years, so we're in a hurry.
We don't want to do it in the middle of the day, or we don't know. We don't know what time it is. We think we know what time it is, but here's the thing: you can do this more than once, can't you, Jen?
Yeah, I can get us. Take
So
one, come back, take one.
Oh, so we have to make 2 trips.
I would have to make 2 trips.
Wait,
I see.
take one, come back, take
Come
one.
back,
That leaves one back. That's only 3 people, yeah? Or how many people can you do at a time?
Oh, I can only do one person at a time.
Well, that ain't gonna work.
Oh, that's not gonna work.
There's too many of us.
I could cast it as a 5th level spell.
What is that? I don't. You gotta what?
If you upcast it, that increases the capacity, right?
No information on upcasting, but can I use a 5th level spell slot to cast a 4th level spell?
Yeah, you can
If it's
downgrade
zero.
spell slots.
I think it has to say in the spell description though what it does if you do that.
Plus, I could also use sorcery points as well.
Yeah, no, Jeff. You can use a spell slot to cast a spell of any level of that or
right.
lower.
But whether
Right.
or not it's going to improve the effect or not is entirely dependent on the spell itself. Yeah.
Oh, so if I use a level 5 spell slot to cast a level 4 spell, it doesn't operate as a level 5 version of that spell.
Unless
it says
words of
that
it say that.
upcasting.
Yeah, but that's not like default behavior.
Correct. Because some spells you have to spend like if like a 4th level spell, maybe like if you cast it 6th level, it does something. But if you cast it at 5th, it's just you're basically using a 5th level spot.
Yeah, I'm looking at the description now. It does not say anything about being able to upcast it and take an additional creature with you. It's just one at a time.
Well, that's also a problem, right? Because we all got to be up in the air at the same time for Fingers' little feather fall thingy bobbers. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is yes, unless he brings me place. Well, hold on. Let's think about this.
Well, we can talk while we walk. Either way, we got to get to the end of this river. Talk and think.
I mean, he could take me first, and then I feather fall.
While you two have figured that out, I'll go wake up Zon.
No, you need to listen to this. You need to hear this.
All right.
I go first. I feather fall down, and then wait, Jin, you can't just when you dimension door there, you would also have to dimension door back too, wouldn't you?
That's correct. I'd have to go there, back, there, back, there.
How many times?
So you have to know how far back to go if you're gonna go back. Yeah.
If you're falling, well, I can dimension door to any place that I know, or that's that's within 500 feet that I know that it's there.
Got it. All right.
Well, I guess what I'm
Right,
saying.
plus-
So in that case, you can just dimension go back to the surface or wherever you gotta go instead of having to
So
worry
you're
about featherfall.
saying between sorcery points and everything, you could cast it enough times to get everyone there, right? You'd have
Yes,
to
there,
cast it
back,
6 times.
there, back, there. No, 5. I can do that 5 times.
That's right.
Yeah, so I would use all 3 third level spells, 4th level spells, 1 5th level spell, and then sorcery points to get my flexible casting. So yeah, I can do it.
So here's what would have to happen is he brings me up first, and then I feather fall down. Then he goes back. Then he comes back with Wallace.
Wait,
Wallace,
is Zunax not coming with us?
He's staying.
he's staying.
Oh, I thought he was coming with us. All right, never mind.
Okay, listen. This is
Oh
the,
yeah, he's coming back. That's right. He was gonna start a resistance. That whole thing. Okay.
pay attention, Wallace. This is important.
I'm trusting you two to handle all the magics. I'm just trying to get
I
out of
need
here.
you to know what you're getting into. So listen.
All right. Go ahead, Fingers.
So he's going to teleport you 400 feet above the surface. And the first 340 feet that you fall until you're 60 feet above the ground will be free fall. And then at that moment, when you reach 60 feet, I'll be able to cast Featherfall and slow your descent so that you won't actually take any damage to the ground. Because my feather only has a range.
Terrifying.
Point of order.
Terrifying.
So I don't. You look at it. So I'm looking at you, you Sparkles, can just teleport back to wherever you've been. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
As long as it's in 500 feet. Is that my understanding?
That's
So
correct.
as long as you've been up there once,
I can see
you
where
can
the
just go
ground
back
is.
and forth without having to do it repeated in the middle of the air thing. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
I can pop you back up to the ground.
right above surface level.
So yeah, you go and do the whole don't die from falling thing, and then the rest of us just
Okay.
take the sparkle taxi back and forth through this earth or whatever.
Exactly. That's a good
That
point.
works even better. The only thing
I
is
can do magics.
when you bring me up there, then we're gonna have to look around real quick, and I'll just cast Featherfall on us for a bit, so that way we have a little more time to get a sense of our surroundings. Because if we teleport right above the city square or something like that, then you go back, I'll cast invisibility, and we'll meet outside the city somehow.
Never find each
I
other.
do that. Yep.
All
Did
right.
we see any buildings in the city that were 40 stories or higher?
The walls are the highest things in the building, and they are, as I believe I previously stated, roughly 100 feet tall.
Okay, good. So basically, what I'm asking is, if I go 100 and then 400 feet up, I'm not gonna have any chance of teleporting into a building. So 500
Theoretically.
feet up. Theoretically, maybe a passing bird might
There
get
are
there.
airships. Who knows? Bad luck. You just blink.
Could be bad luck. I mean, then blink, and then it's original.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize this room was occupied.
I'll just see myself out. Okay, we doing this? I
Yeah,
grab
let's
onto,
not Foggy, we're going. I don't know if you want to say bye.
Oh no,
if you ever talk to.
it was a pleasure not dying with you.
Yeah, appreciate that. You want to work on the squareness of your fog.
I
Anyway,
frankly am embarrassed that I thought that was going to work. It was as if it was the first day I'd ever used magic.
Oh.
well, I was born yesterday. All right.
But
Off we go.
I wish you good luck on your journey and success on your mentioning.
Okay, see you later, buddy.
Multiple dimensionings.
Thanks for the help, and good job making him good-looking me.
Multiple dimensionings won't be the weirdest thing I do this. Whatever this is.
Wading into the middle of the river to take a dump. That's the weirdest thing you'll do.
Hey, I don't want track of things going on. I'm taking care of bodily functions. I don't know what's wrong with you two.
Is this river rather slow moving?
As it's
Was that last
as it's
morning that he did that?
as it's wider out, it's not as like rushing rapidly, but I mean
Mhm.
it's still flowing water.
Was that last night that he did that? That you did that, Wallace? Or are we gonna see a turd floating around?
Yeah, no, that
last
was
night.
that was
We
last
all went
night.
to bed, and then I tried out next to the fire. Fingers, where are you?
Right here.
I can never find his token.
He didn't move his token, so
Oh.
he said right here, but he's back still with Zunax.
He's still back with Zunax.
I just thought it was blending in with some of the background.
Yeah, because I've lost him in this map before, so I'm like, I just
Mhm.
can't see. Alright, well, if nothing else is gonna happen actively, we're gonna just, move along the river. Hey, is
Well, where are you going? That I thought you were dimensioning up. What's happening?
No, you said we had to go to the end of the river until there was a cavern, until we were under the water, and then we were dimensioning up. Over the ocean.
Okay, that's fine. I was misunderstanding. I thought you were dimensioning
Just
in
straight
lieu.
up for where we are.
Yeah, I thought you were dimensioning in lieu of having to swim from an underwater cavern.
No, we're trying to get over the water so we don't dimension door over the city, and then
Gotcha.
But I also don't want to dimension door us over water and then have us just like be in the middle of the ocean and drown.
Yeah, that's a thought. Do we want to not? I don't know. How good are you guys at swimming?
I am not.
Yeah. Not my forte.
You have you can make a bunch of food. Can't you make some sort of, I don't know, boat?
I can't just produce matter. I can only pull food from my
produce
pantry.
food all the time.
I extract it from a pantry of mine.
And you didn't think to put a rowboat in there.
And you didn't think, yeah, exactly. Thank you, Fingers.
What are you even saying?
Poorly prepared. All right. On that thought,
ooh, I missed an opportunity for some very fun flavor.
So, since we might be showing up in the middle of the ocean, do you think any of these giant mushroom caps could serve as a life raft? I don't know. Could you dimension door a mushroom cap? Do you have bottles?
As long as its weight doesn't exceed its carry capacity.
Well, do they even float? We should probably test that before we bank everything on it. Huh? And with that,
I proceed to test that.
Yeah, I go to help him with that.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'd have to see if I even could use enough sorcery points to do that. I have to look at the table. Hang on.
This is a mushroom cap, yeah?
That is a roughly 8-foot tall tree-shaped mushroom, yes.
I proceed to hack at it with my sword until it topples over, and then as high as I can reach.
Okay.
Try to get it basically just to be the cap, and then once it's hacked
in order to be such a tall, strong mushroom, obviously its stalk is more structurally sound than, say, a portobello mushroom. So the mycelium that holds its fibers together is more like a fungal wood. You are able to hack away at it with a sword, but it's going to take some doing.
I start on one nearby. Start on this one.
That in particular is a cluster of more like medium-sized mushrooms.
There we go.
Oh, the red one. Okay.
That red one is like a foot in diameter, like kind of like a fly amanita. It's maybe less than a foot tall.
Oh, so then the medium ones then.
The medium ones are more like this big around. Kind of like those, almost the size of those like plastic sled saucers.
Perfect.
So you're cutting a cap off of one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, it's not like fungal wood like the giant ones, but it's thick and takes some hacking with a knife or whatever blade you're using.
Thunk,
What blade are you using?
thunk.
I have a knife.
Okay. Yeah, so it takes some time. You're able to get your cap off much sooner than Wallace gets his.
All right. Hey Wallace, why don't you give this a shot since you, with your armor, you're gonna weigh more than anyone here.
What? Oh. This is not easy work. Alright, yeah. Sure. Well, see if it floats at all first. Throws it into the river.
Ah, yes. So you throw it into the river, and it does float.
Alright, I'll go in and try to put my weight on it.
Putting very little weight on it causes it to sink under the surface.
I'll look over her fingers. Well, that didn't work. Think the bigger one will?
I mean,
No.
can we even carry that with us? That's a big risk.
I suppose that's a good point. Well,
Only what I can carry.
Oh no, if it floats, we could just push it down the river.
I mean, is it gonna make it all the way down there, or we're gonna have to steer it? It's not exactly stabilized. Also, probably gonna get soggy. I thought the idea was to bring something with us that we could immediately float with, instead of floating down there first.
Well, yeah, that's the idea, but my thought is if it can float in the river, it'll float in the ocean.
Right, but something that big, can Jin even carry that when he dimension hops? I mean,
Oh, that I don't know.
that's what I'm
Probably
saying.
not. I mean, I could only what I can carry, and I'm already
well, why
pretty
didn't you
loaded.
tell me that before I spent 15 minutes hacking at this thing?
I thought we were gonna use it to float down this river here, not in the ocean.
Never mind. Alright, floating mushroom plan failed. Moving on.
So if we have no means of
We can
floating
still use
once
it
we
for
get
this.
out of the ocean, then
Take out my whetstone and start sharpening my poor blade.
I think if we don't have a good way of floating, since I'm not much of a swimmer and especially not Sturgis, then maybe we just need to take our chances above the city.
Wait, none of yous have some sort of magical ways of dealing with waters?
Never needed it.
Look at this guy. Just a few short weeks ago, he didn't really know anything about magic, and now he just assumes they have a problem-solving spell for everything.
So
Yeah.
far,
It
it's
is
worked
something
so
that
far,
somebody
that's all I'm
who's
saying.
introduced to magic would think.
I love it.
I mean, I just spent a couple of days in a gladiatorial arena where everything just kind of shifted into the sands. Yeah, I don't know any better. He pulls magic he pulls whatever food he wants out of a hole in the world.
I'm not creating the food. I'm pulling it out of my dimensional pantry, which
And
is what I've missed. All of that food should be rotten by 2,000 years. I
It didn't
just
come with him through the pantry itself.
I just realized now that this pantry exists on another plane of existence, and
It's not
there's no,
tied to him. So
there's no reason that would have gone forward in time.
Well,
But
maybe, but then
Too late
again,
now.
yeah, I
if
know
he
I've already
can-
ruined it.
if he can bridge a discrete amount of space in zero delay, then that means time should have no effect on that location either. Because otherwise, how does he access it, right? You can't say that, oh, I can go from wherever he is as he casts the spell to wherever that pantry actually is. Like, there's no
time is
delay.
frozen.
So just, exactly. So
I'd argue time is frozen in the pantry until he accesses it.
metabolic.
Well, I mean,
metabolic
it would
processes
follow
of-
it follows whatever rules bags of holding follow.
Oh, I don't know how time
So-
works inside of a bag of holding.
Does time pass in the ethereal plane?
It does, because you can suffocate inside one, so that would require time to pass.
Precisely.
So, yeah.
Well, am I retching up all that chicken, or are we gonna retcon it?
No. Where I missed the opportunity to have him try to produce food and only have junk. Since he produced food, then it worked.
That would have been.
I thought of it after the fact. And I was like, damn it, that would have been so fun. He like opens this portal and it's just this rank Well, I guess 2,000 years it wouldn't even smell rotten. It would just be dust.
Mm-hmm.
You'd just be empty. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway.
Well, I suppose we don't waste any more time and we take our chances above where we know we actually can rest on the surface instead of possibly drowning.
Oh wait, you want to do that here?
Do you have a better way of getting from the open water to the shoreline? Because I don't.
Yeah, I suppose not.
Let me review my own spell book and see what God was gracious enough to give me. Oop, did not mean to cast that. I was trying to collapse it. Sorry.
Magic missile.
What the heck, Flossie?
Was not my intention.
I'm attacking the darkness.
I swear. that never
Yeah, no,
happened.
he has nothing he has nothing helpful.
Does it make sense to even bother to ask the other caster down here that we literally just walked away from 5 minutes ago?
Are you asking
the man
me?
that cast a rectangular cloud to hide
Yes.
himself.
We could role play it out, or I could just ask the DM to save time and be like, "Does he have spells that can help us?"
See, now I need to check because I don't know what Dad picked.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious if he had Mordenkainen's faithful rowboat or something.
Well, he has a couple of fun Mordenkainens and some, manipulation spells. So let me see here. He has Bigsby's hand.
I don't know how that works.
I'm
Off the
reading.
top of my head, that's it could work.
No, you can fight with a strength, forceful, push a creature.
I got it. Ready? Polymorph. We turn ourselves into fish and swim to shore.
Is he serious? Is that a thing?
Uh,
I have polymorph and I can cast it twice as a fourth level spell.
I do as well. That would work. You would have enough.
That's
So you all giving me grief because I'm like, you two did find a way to solve the problem, and you totally did.
Can we basically now, by using polymorph, just turn this into animorphs?
Well, not fish.
Sturgis.
I would be a
Stur-
shark, so I'm not going to get eaten by something.
Sturgis has
Wow.
polymorph also.
That's
I'd be a
amazing.
whale.
That's amazing. Done.
Wait, so the
One of us
three
turns
use.
into a whale and carries the others to shore, and then beaches itself, and then polymorph back.
And polymorph's back.
Well, it's not.
Wait.
It's not true polymorph. It's just polymorph. So let's see what the limitations are.
You have to stay the same size as you are. I think you can't like
I'm checking.
one size up or down. I
There,
think.
it's in the chat.
Creature you can see. The target's game
Challenge rating.
stats are replaced by the stats of the chosen beast. Assumes the hit points. Limited in the actions.
Any beast. is
Gear
zero.
melds. It doesn't say anything about your size.
Nope,
No, I'm thinking bullshit.
So
It's
challenge
like
rating-
druid shapeshift, but in spell form.
So a CR 9 creature or lower, we can polymorph into.
Whoa, where do you see the CR?
CR 4, I think.
Yeah, the new form can be any beast whose challenge rating is equal
Oh,
to
the
or
target's
less.
not half. I thought it
target.
said half. My bad. Yeah, so CR. Wow.
Let's see.
Okay, so
5e
CR9.
CR9. 5e beast list. 5e beast list. Sort by CR. Which one of these can swim? Giant shark is a CR5.
Sweet. Well, we could polymorph into pretty much anything.
So you two,
Or
Giant-
any of
three of you are gonna polymorphs into whatever.
Is it CR5 or CR
I'm along for a ride in the one act.
like?
A hulking crab. Crab swim? Giant crocodile. Ooh, there we go.
Giant crocodile would work. That's a CR5. I mean, there just aren't a lot of high CR beasts. I think the highest CR beast is 8, and that's a T-Rex.
8.
And you're going into dinosaurs.
Or a dread centipede.
Turn into a giant eagle.
I don't know if eagles can swim 100 feet under the ocean.
But we would dimension door above
Saying is
the
dimension door
ocean.
up and then turn into eagle.
Yeah.
Well, that's 2 spells.
so-
Why don't you just go to the end of this? Wait a minute. Why am I telling you how to play?
Okay. So
So,
I have to use my spells for Dimension Door. So somebody will have to polymorph me.
well, I think
once a day.
we could just swim out. Yeah, we don't have to dimension door at all.
Oh, just swim to the end of the water.
Yeah.
Could do that.
But
So we
one
all-
of you users have to give me a ride if I'm reading this spell right.
You could be polymorphed.
One,
can be-
I don't have the
Oh
spell.
no, because it's a concentration spell. So yeah, no, he's right.
You can only
Mm.
have only one
Yeah.
person can be polymorphed per caster.
Okay, so
I'm going on a ride of whatever animals you decide to make for yourselves.
you're gonna be like Triton with like 3 sharks telling you along.
That's phenomenal. Sometimes I love being a mage, says Sturgis.
Wait, so where's the definitive list? Just so I'm seeing.
I
What
just
you're
googled it. 5e beast list D&D wiki.
I'll post it in the chat.
It's 134 official and
and what's-
unofficial beasts, and I'll allow all
what's
of them
the-
to exist. And then I just sorted that list by CR. But I
What's
could
the
sort it by
CR?
move and look for the ones that have swim.
Challenge rating, which it has to be. A new form of beast can use any challenge rating equal to or less than the target's or the target's level. Which
So
CR9 really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the highest CR is 8, so it's any beast really.
Okay, yeah, you can turn
oh,
any
so it only goes up to CR. Okay.
Yeah, the highest beast that exists has a CR of 8.
Oh, Quetzalcoatlus. There you go.
So yeah, just pick something that swims fast, since I'm gonna have to hold my breath for this.
Well, if
Spinosaurus.
I mean, I think giant shark is probably the fastest,
Yeah, I would assume.
if
How
that's
do
what you're trying to do.
you-
Giant shark has a swim speed of 50 feet. So if you dash as a giant shark, you can go 100 feet in a turn or around.
So yeah, that's not a problem.
If you can't hold your breath for 6 seconds, you have a problem.
More about holding on to the shark at that point.
Jeff, you seem confused, and I feel like you shouldn't be confused.
I just want to see a list that only shows up to CR8 and not like nothing above it. But
What I'm trying to explain to you is, if you look for a list of beasts, the highest beast that exists is CR8.
CR8. I posted it in the Emrae chat. You can see the
I'm
list
looking
there.
at monsters. That's why.
Yeah, no, specifically beasts.
All right.
That's why you can't polymorph into a dragon.
Right. Because it's a dragon. Beasts are the D&D monster type that
There we
encompasses
go.
just like the animals in the world.
There we go. That's much better. Thank you. Yeah, there were some really exotic things. I was like, juvenile sea leviathan. I don't know if that.
Yeah, it's definitely not a beast.
Why don't I just become a water elemental?
Giant. I guess giant shark, no question then, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Crocodile.
giant crocodile is the same CR and has a slower swim speed.
But it'd also be easier to ride on top of a crocodile than a shark, probably.
Mm.
Yeah, I would have a easier
Theoretically.
time probably grabbing onto it.
It would only take.
I've never been wrestling with a gator.
It would then take 12 seconds to get to the surface by dashing.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. I heard some of that. So we just dash action the way up. Okay. So yeah, shark it is then.
Just keep a hold. Just don't lose track of me because I'm not turning into a shellac.
Well, if you trust me, you can like. I guess you're gonna have to hold on by the dorsal fin.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
I'm
you could
also
just
I'm gonna be heavy, so
you could just clutch them in your jaws.
I was thinking that, but it's like
I
I'm
don't
a shark.
like the plan.
I gotta stop telling you guys how to play. I'm all wrapped up in the PC element.
You can be Sturgis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm trying to not tell you guys what to do.
Fair enough. Alright, let's go find this water so you all can experiment with being fish or whatever, and then we can get the heck out of here. I don't have a solution to any problem.
Apparently you're jealous because just like a fish, you poop in the water, and that's okay.
See, I imagine all of this is just us having this conversation as we're walking to this water. Like, what are you gonna be? I'm gonna be a giant shark. I'm gonna be a giant crocodile.
And I'm just like, magic uses.
All right. So as you guys continue east, eventually this floodplainy river sort of narrows again and gets deeper in the ravine, and the vegetation seems to subside. All told,
I never asked the Xenax, well, why the water glows. Oh well, too late now. Moving on.
Because of people like you who relieve themselves.
My poop was glowing? No one told me my poop was glowing.
all told, the span of distance from the start of the glowy vegetation to the end was about 1,000 feet.
Because I was counting my steps.
Roughly.
Okay.
As you continue walking, like I said, it goes back to being more of a canyon with water in the bottom.
Wait, so the vegetation goes away. Who's providing light?
I could do that. It's a cantrip.
A valid thought.
I pick up a bunch of small rocks and cast light on them and toss them out to each of these fellers walking around.
Sparkles is making things sparkle.
You are able to do that. So that puts you guys there. The path then kind of curves to the right a bit.
Southish. Okay.
Well,
Southeasty.
you weren't necessarily traveling east, you were traveling right on the map.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it then curves to the right, and just continues into the darkness.
This place makes me uneasy, so even though we have light, I'm keeping my hand near my pistol.
Well, we're not near any of those construction window things anymore, right?
No, you don't see anything of that nature at this stage. It's just utter darkness, aside from the light you're casting.
Are we going downhill?
The grade of the water, the water's flowing in that direction, so there's obviously a downhill trend.
Okay.
Because, that's how water works.
As far as we can tell on dry land, though, it's not a very steep gradient, is it?
No, you're not it doesn't feel like a hill. It's just in that direction.
So, how far can our little lights shine? What can we see then?
20 feet.
Yeah, light
20 feet?
cast about 20 feet of dim light.
Alright, so then I'm going to cast Dark Vision on myself.
Okay.
Just so that I can see. Now I have vision out to a range of 60 feet.
Now you have dim 60-foot vision, like infrared camera.
Yep. Exactly, just to be able to detect rock.
One day I'll be able to use that.
I forgot about that spell.
I found a rock right there.
I forgot about that spell. I love it.
Level 9, though.
Casting time 1 hour.
You going like this?
You have to cast for an hour, but it only lasts 10 minutes.
Have you considered perhaps a rake? Oh, when did I do that? That was like ancient history. Whoa.
For an hour! You're doing that for an
hour! Oh man, it's like I gave my future self this beautiful little gift, and it finally just shipped.
It was the verbal and somatic component.
Well, yeah, you gotta wave your hands in a magical way. Whoa.
jokes.
Homebrew, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so yeah, still following the ravine until I don't know we get to a point where we can't anymore.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye out for anything that's you know.
So after the Big
Anything.
Bend, that goes for another good amount of time, well over 1,000 feet in that direction, until
Measuring distances.
I mean, roughly, you don't have a ruler, but it's not. It hasn't been 100 feet. It's been more like 1,000 feet. Um,
How loud
yes.
is the water moving? Is it
It's an audible rush as it's narrowed. The speed has picked up, so you can hear like a babbling brook.
So as we're doing this, then I'm gonna take out the collapsible banjo and just kind of play like the perfect travel montage music as we're.
Yeah, you do that, and it is as banjos are a very twangy timpani sound, which is resonating and echoing off of the rock walls quite loudly.
Well, that'll put a little pep in your step.
I mean, hey, the acoustics they're great. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, there's some reverb for sure.
I keep playing.
You just gotta get yourself an audience down here, there, fingers.
It's the Blue Rocks Amphitheater. It's great.
Another couple 100 feet, and eventually the room, or like the sort of hall canyon, widens and opens into a big domed chasm, or like antechamber, like a cavern. The river has pooled into more of a pond, which flows to the like back wall of this round area, where the dome stone has met the wall. And all along the lower parts of the ceiling, there are stalactites dripping down, and everything is echoey and damp and dark.
Would we be able to see that far? Is there some sort of light, I guess, or is it just...
Well, you have your lights, which it's not illuminating the area, but as light would bounce off of the ripples, you can kind of see where the ripples of the water stop, and that's maybe 100 feet.
Okay.
And of course, Jin, you can see a little clearer, but obviously not all the way to the wall.
Sure. And I explain that. I say, listen, I can't see the wall, but I could tell maybe, based on the reflection, could be, I don't know, at least 100 feet that way.
All right, time for you all to, I don't know, with a fish or whatever it is.
Now, listen, guys, I'm not going to polymorph. I want one of you guys to haul me along, either, Sturgis or Oregano there, because if I do that, then we're not going to have our dimension door backup plan.
Don't you gotta be able to talk to be able to do that sort of thing? Is that a thing?
What's that?
We're gonna be underwater, right? Can you do spells if you're underwater?
That I don't know, but I mean, at least we have that as a backup option.
That I don't know.
Doesn't work.
I never tried.
V is verbal. It does have a verbal component.
Yeah.
Okay. I leave that up to the DM as to whether or not you can use verbal components while submerged.
Yeah, we're gonna go with nope.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
Abracadabra is not the same as.
But in case this fails, and in case we can't get out via polymorph, I would like to have these spells as a backup.
Well, Sturgis can turn himself, and I can turn myself into sharks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we'll ride you guys.
Oh, fun!
Fingers.
Fine, and I hold on to his dorsal fin with my jaw.
Assuming he transforms into a shark.
Yeah, this is true.
So now you're just biting the back of Sturgis's neck.
Yeah, do allow me to Do allow me to transform first, please.
I just gnaw a little bit.
I mean, you'd have to like. I mean, you're like twice his height almost, right? So you'd be
I'm bending over to do this. Go ahead, go.
The thing is, I don't know how this is gonna. Do I even want to watch this? Do we need to give you privacy while this happens? I don't know how this works. Are you still gonna be wearing clothes? Like, I don't. What is this weird?
Will he be wearing clothes afterwards? Is the real question.
Yes, it specifically states that your gear becomes part of you.
Part of you.
Yeah,
Right?
Wallace doesn't know that. His pistol became his fin. What was weird? I think it's after you.
All right, I guess we're doing this, aren't we?
Yes.
All right, form of shark.
All right then.
That was weird. I'll wade into the water and I'll give you a minute to like swim around and then like wade in and like. You're slimy. This is weird. Do I still call you fingers? Did I just start calling you fins now? This is bizarre.
You're just talking to a shark. There's. All right.
Can you understand me? I suppose you can't really talk anymore.
You see when you say that, you see my tail fin slap the water like out of cadence. Like instead of moving back and forth.
I understand what you're saying. I'm just like, I don't know what to make of that. One
It's like
slaps for yes, two slaps for no. You know what? I'm just gonna hold on.
Sturgis fixes his glasses upon his nose,
This is weird.
holds up his rod, and goes "Wololo," because that's the new de facto magic word for everything. And he transforms into a Basilosaurus.
Which is how big? You're gonna have to send me a picture of this. I don't know what the hell he just did.
A Basilosaurus. Paulus Plesiosaurus. Hell, there's a Basilosaurus.
That thing is massive. Does this thing even fit in the pond?
Yeah, I mean it's a small one, like a baby one.
Okay. It's like they're supposed to be 60 feet long.
Is there a
I'm just literally Wikipedia'd this.
Basilosaurus?
They're like dinosaur whales.
There you go. Cool.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's
Just
a whale with
gotta do
teeth.
everybody,
Cool.
don't you, Frosty? Yep. Giant
Everything had teeth.
like a fish.
Yeah, it had
There's
teeth.
Wow, it was a predator too.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's a dinosaur whale.
Is it mammalian though?
There's a whale.
But it must be.
No, they're not. They're not mammals.
Prehistoric whale. Okay.
Basilosaurus literally means king lizard. Oh no, I'm sorry. They are mammals. They were thought to be dinosaurs, but they were actually early marine mammals.
Cool.
Because
Yeah, you
we
can see the
name
hips.
things
Yeah,
that
yeah.
don't make sense in Latin and then decide, you know what, we were wrong, but screw it, we're going to stick with the name anyway.
Anyway, so he does that. He turns into a small Basilosaurus, and then what's the plan? He follows the shark.
Yes.
We are all at the whim of the shark, who I hope can see in the dark. I am now holding on to dear life, having no idea how long I'm going to have to hold my breath, and just being like...
Yep. And I just latch on to the dorsal fin.
blind faith in a shark that was my friend.
Well,
Yep, it still is
I
my
think
friend.
he's still go near the surface, right? So he wouldn't have to hold his breath. Or are we in that?
Yeah, we're in the basin.
Okay.
And I'm following the shark, so you tell me what you're doing.
Going up and out as best as I can sense how to do it.
Up would lead you to literally where you're at.
So we
Yeah,
have
we
to
need to go down first.
so down, and then there's like a little sea cave at the bottom of.
Well, you dive down. Mike is holding on for dear life, and what you can see with your shark senses is that this pond is 40, 50 deep in the deepest part. It's like a big basin of water, and then that far wall goes under the water, maybe 10 foot or so, and then there is it sort of all funnels down to an opening that's like 20 feet diameter-ish. And that's all you can see unless you start going that way.
I swim almost straight up the surface for Wallace.
Sturgis does the same.
Swim around in a couple little circles real quick, over and catch their breath, and then on the next dive, I'm gonna head to that boat that you mentioned.
Yeah, there's no warning, Mike. You just feel him going down.
It's dark, right? Like it's pitch black. So
But you know where the water is, at least. Like you can feel.
Yeah, but I don't know when you're gonna dive. How am I supposed to know?
Well, that's why I swam around in circles a couple times.
Okay. I have to interpret that. I have to guess at your intent. Anyway, we're underwater.
I mean, a shark would normally just be underwater the whole time, so to surface like that, it's not. I come back up again.
Mike's not a marine biologist.
Nor is Wallace.
Well, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Well, I have human intelligence. I'm just limited by.
Yeah. No. Everything you're doing is correct, and Mike is reacting appropriately.
So I do that a couple more times until I can feel that Wallace is finally getting hopefully I can feel, I don't know, him relax and like, oh, I see.
Mike, you are inexplicably being dragged underwater and then brought back to the surface, swum around in a circle 3 times, and then dunked underwater.
Not just 3 times. Like I assume I have some sense of when he's
Yes, I'm assuming you can hear me. Just go. I'll be fine. Just get this over with. I don't know why you keep going back up again. Go.
And Sturgis is following you, so Jin, you're getting the same treatment.
I make a little turbulence tail to signify like this is it. I'm trying to communicate somehow.
Yeah, your tail's going. Got
it. and we go down.
Okay, so you dive down. You dash. You head where?
Towards that opening.
Towards the opening. You head towards the opening. As you approach the opening, you can see that it funnels forward and then curves up, and you can't see where it goes until you go that way.
Keep following it. Speed ahead.
Following it full speed ahead. This is all within the first, in 6 seconds you're going to get 100 feet. So after 6 seconds, you're making your way up a cylinder of stone that's 30 or so feet in diameter and is going straight up and is dark. And then, hang on, am I missing something in Discord? Yes, I am. Mike, please don't actually hold your breath, because the description is going to take much longer than real time.
I mean, if that face is red, it's sort of accurate, right?
That deserves an inspiration die, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. That's commitment.
You took his breath away.
After the first round, you are in the tunnel and making your way up. By the end of the second round, you've breached the surface of the water. So 10 seconds total travel.
So when I reach the surface.
Oh, we're at the surface now?
This is air jaws coming up,
Yeah, because I mean, you swam in 12 seconds. You swam 200 total feet.
I'm like,
But then I stay at the surface and slowly and I calmly swim. So
That wasn't nearly as long as I thought it was gonna be.
Sturgis just kind of breaches out his blowhole.
Can I
Okay,
stand
what do
up
I
on his
see
back?
now that we're on the
Well, yeah.
surface of?
I do so.
Okay, it's like
And
Dune.
leaning, like hold. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
The sleeper has awakened.
I'm holding onto his dorsal fin like I'm a Shai Hulud.
Okay, so you're now outside. It is dark out. There are stars in the sky. It is a clear night.
Apparently, we were wrong about the time. Seawater. Can we see the lights of the city?
Yes, Jeff is coming back. Okay, good. You can see the lights of the city. I gotta go back to the screen. Dun, 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 dun. Cause all y'all are. Oh damn. I can't actually show you on the map where you are.
Are we off the map?
You're off the map to the southwest.
The southwest.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, so that you guys know, the initial direction you were heading was not east, but it was this way. And then when you got to
Okay.
about here, that's when it turned and it went about that way. So you're like another 500 feet in that direction off the coast.
Perfect positioning here.
yeah, seriously. Well, I'm
if you look northeast, you see the walls in the city, about 500 feet away.
Sure. Well, then I open up the segment plates on the left side of
What time of day is it, by the way?
his body.
Yeah,
It's a clear night.
It's a clear dark night, or clear starry night. Excuse me.
No moon.
I haven't. I can tell you that in a second. 1 second. I forgot about that. It's no longer in my history. It's gonna take me a second to get to it. Stand by. Emrae. The calendar. The calendar.
We are not that far. You could just add squares to this, you know.
Are you? Sorry. Are you telling me what to do?
And that's when lightning struck them in the middle of the water.
Why can't I launch the calendar? Oh, there we go.
We're not that far.
It is a waning moon. There's a sliver of moonlight. Because it is now the 31st of Exis, the year 3197.
So a waning crescent. So like not even 25% total.
Correct.
So,
like in 2 days, it's gonna be new moon or no
wow.
moon. No moon.
Perfect. It's probably more like 10%, not even.
All right, there, fingers. Why don't we swim further down the beach for a while? Because I feel like we're uncomfortably close to the wall, and then we can get ourselves dry. Might as well just ride you out while you're still in this form for a while. I understand you can't talk back, but why don't we go with that plan?
As soon as you say that, you feel like I keep moving forward, but you feel me just kind of wiggle a little extra, like side to side. So like,
I'm gonna assume that's a yes.
and I do the same thing again.
Cool. I've learned to talk to sharks.
Sturgis sprays.
Somehow not the weirdest thing that's happened to me in the last 5 days.
Sturgis sprays water out his blowhole, showering showering gin
Yeah.
behind him on his dorsal fin.
Ugh. I dig my claws in slightly more.
He shakes his tail vigorously. Make a deck save.
Well, I did sink them in to hold on. So let's see.
You lose your footing and plummet into the ocean.
Splash. I tread water until he swings around.
Sturgis just kind of holds position and waits for you to swim.
I reluctantly swim, shake myself off, and just kind of like sit down near his dorsal pin and like tap him twice. Like, all right, you win.
Away he goes. Okay. Great.
So basically, I mean, we're all at fingers.
Yeah, let me flip over to the future Emrae map and have y'all zoom in to where Springstone is. And just let me know where you're trying to land
Did you say
on the shore.
southwest?
Yeah, I mean, yes. Yes.
It sticks out. So we're right. I mean, we were going southwest, but now we're going along the southern coast here. So like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
This is like super zoomed out world map.
Gotcha.
I only have so much. I only have so much precision when I'm drawing coastline.
This is a massive 10 feet.
Oh, I do have to fix that actually.
We're going to the middle of the N. Assuming that's as far as we'd make it before, fish mode runs out.
Let's see here.
It seems reasonable.
I need to make 20 feet equal. 4 squares needs to equal 70 miles on this map.
Would I know what the lay of the land looks like? So we're zoomed in right now, so we can see Springstone and not much else, right? And Mike just said the N in Springstone. Would I know that there's that forest a bit farther to the south that goes right up to the water? That might make it a lot easier to immediately disembark and be hidden from any kind of scrying technology.
You're not familiar intimately with the map of the world, but as you swim in a direction, you can see what's around you.
So can I see those trees from where I am off in the distance, like right up, like a forest, like goes right up to the water's edge? Or it's actually probably too dark to see.
Those trees are like really far away.
20 miles away.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's definitely
if you hold Alt, you can.
You can turn off snapping also, just as an option.
No, that's reasonable because if it's too dark for them to see us 500 feet away, how could we see trees 40 miles away? So, okay, so then in that point, the first point of the land that sticks out by the end, that makes
like here-ish.
Yeah. So that's 10 miles, and we get an hour. So it probably
it's reasonable. Yeah, if you're going 60 swimming feet or 60 swimming.
Well, 100 swim if you're dashing. If you just dash the whole way, you can go 100 feet in 6 seconds. Let's do a little math. Even if we did 50. If it's 50 feet in 6 seconds, that's 500 feet a minute. 500 feet a minute, that's 10-minute mile.
10-minute mile, yep.
So that's 6 miles in an hour?
Yeah.
That's slow, but still.
We're not trying to completely exhaust you. And that's plenty of distance.
If you want to sprint swim 12 miles in an hour, you could, but then you'd be tired.
But no, the animal body would be tired, and when we revert back, it's our bodies again, right? So it wouldn't be like, because like if I take damage in this form when I revert back,
that tracks.
So, in my estimation, I don't know how to do this without
Velocity keep up if you go that fast.
Ooh, that's a good question.
What's his
I mean, I guess as the shark, you'd be like just swimming around to see if he's keeping up.
Right. So what's the wind speed? Is it 50 feet like mine is, or?
I don't know. I made the beast up. The
Is this
world's
a situation?
the world's fastest whale can swim 23 miles per hour.
There's a
So, yeah,
plesiosaurus.
definitely
Use the
keep up.
stats from that.
I don't know that plesiosaurus had a swim speed. It just said that it swims.
Mm.
Because this is like official and unofficial beasts.
Do we want to calculate it, or do we want to use DM fiat to say it's reasonable that we could sprint to that point at roughly the same rate of speed? And then...
I mean, 6 miles, 10 miles. I think we're
Yeah,
splitting hairs
I'm
here.
I'm saying that you can get there. Plesiosaurs have 40-foot swims. So they can go 80 foot on a dash. So I think the
enough.
Basilosaurus can keep up. The point is, you can get to this little point of land within an hour.
10
Yes.
miles away, yeah.
Cool.
Let's do it.
Okay, you do that.
After like 15 minutes of this, I'd be like, I'm getting really sick of being dragged through the water here. It's like, I mean, like, because this is basically me like holding on, and like water is like you're sprinting, right? So like I'm constantly getting waves up on me.
Yeah.
Just like water splashing my face constantly. It's like, this
It's
is
not-
like the worst.
It's like
Water
the
skiing, but not fun at all.
yeah, it's like the worst
I'm
boat
definitely
ever.
miserably sitting. I'm miserably sitting on this dorsal fin, getting breathed on every time.
Meanwhile, I'm assuming Jeff's just like, I'm going fast.
Yeah, I'm a shark. Yeah.
Absolutely, especially when you know. In fact, it does specific. I'm looking at the giant shark right now. The shark can only breathe underwater, so periodically you have to submerge. So just deal with it.
Well, you can be underwater while your dorsal fin is not.
I suppose. But every so often, I want to go down a little further. Just breathe colder water.
Just drag me down.
Just
I can hear
because.
everything you're
Come
saying.
back up and
I
just
just-
like, dun dun dun.
That's funny.
So the question is, you just keep going. So there's a point where it's just an awkward like. Suddenly, this dorsal fin just morphs into a human being, and I'm hugging you from behind. We're both in the water. I'm like, uh-oh, and start to sink.
Yeah. At some point that happens.
Swim to shore.
Don't forget, we could do the same thing again and turn into giant eagles and then sprint fly at a rate of 80 feet per now.
End this story like we end the Return of the King. Just the giant eagles solve all of our problems.
I'm just saying, if we want to put some distance between us, that's not a bad way to do it.
All of a sudden, an eye of Sauron just pops up over Springstone. Shit!
Surprise, Middle Earth.
It's
All right.
Sauron.
Yeah. So anyway, Sauron does not have an eye in Middle Earth,
My
so
bad.
you don't have to worry about that.
Well, he does in Middle Earth, just not in Emrae.
Not in Emrae. Yeah, he and Saruman have one in Middle Earth, but not in Emrae.
Cool.
Are you dying inside yet, Jeff?
Survive.
Saruman and Sauron. The
I
eye,
see what you did there.
the eye of Saruman.
Sourman.
Sauron.
So, wait, it's so full
Mega
of
Man's
eyes
worst
to me.
villain. All right. So, you get to about where the N is. You've been hugging the coastline. You both pop into humanoid form.
I got the Mega Man 3 theme stuck in my head.
Sturgis starts
I wanna
gasping
leap
for
out
air.
of the water near the shore and then turn into human form and try to tumble gracefully, land on my feet.
Make a nature check.
I then proceed to get thrown into the air.
Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Make a nature check.
I do have inspiration from a long time ago, but I'm not going to use it this time. So,
Okay. So you are unable to, with pinpoint accuracy, know an hour. So Unless you, yeah. So you are swimming as a shark until the spell fades on its own accord.
So yeah, I'm holding onto a dorsal fin, and all of a sudden I am the big spoon. And they're like, oh no!
So rather, I'm confused. Aren't we? So we didn't make it to that point of the land then, where the land touches.
No, we did. You just before we got
Yeah.
to shore.
I mean,
you
it's
turned
not.
You turned back into.
Yeah, your
Phineas.
your spell faded at about that location after you swam for about an hour, and
so you're saying we're still offshore ways?
yeah.
Oh.
I mean,
I
you're
thought
hugging
I will.
you're hugging the coastline, but you're a shark, so
Well,
you're
that's
obviously you're not
yeah.
standing on the water on the land.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we're not,
sharks can swim in like 3 feet of water, so.
we're
Okay.
not far.
Well,
Well, swimming.
were you swimming full tilt in 3 feet of water?
6 to 10 feet, close enough to the shore. I'm not going to be like way
All
out
right.
in the deep end.
So in 10-foot
should've
deep water, you
specified
poof into a human,
And we tumble over each other.
and the same thing
Yeah.
happens to Sturgis, who starts gasping for air because he can't swim.
So what's swimming? Swimming is athletics, right?
Say that again.
A swimming check is athletics since there's no.
Yes, swimming is athletics.
All right, so then
Sparkles, just stand up and get him over here.
Stand.
can I reach the bottom where I am?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I stand up and I grab Sturgis by like the collar and lift him out of the water and just kind of drag him in.
I do detest the taste of seawater. Thank you for your help.
Thanks for the ride, buddy.
Yes.
You're growing on me.
It would appear as though you were growing on me back there.
As I say, he just shrank under you, so you know whatever.
Mhm.
All right. So you guys are all on the shore.
Flossie, you got something we can rinse our mouths out? I'm just to at least get the briny taste out of my mouth. You just got into the water for the first time. I've been soaking in it for an hour.
Yeah, he prestidigitates all of your stuff dry
Oh,
and creates some
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
creates fresh water for everybody.
cluck, 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 cluck. So parched.
Very well.
Forgot I could use it like that.
And with that, my friends, we are going to close the session.
Okay.
Very well.
That was a
Oh.
that was a
Exhilarating.
fun exodus
We
from the city.
made it out.
You made it out of
We made it
Springstone
out.
without having to fight Arbiter Jiang and all of the cool time magic that I gave him.
You sound so disappointed.
I'm not. That would have been a hellish combat.
I'm not. I would have murdered you.
No. Hellish, not hellish for you. Hellish for me. I'd given him
Oh.
abilities to like go back in time in combat and like undo things. Like
Oh my
I went
God.
off the deep end with his little hourglass and what it's capable of doing.
He was broken, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, he was broken. And
Remember
managing
those
managing-
5 rounds of combat you just did? Pretend they didn't happen.
managing
Also, I had
that.
to keep track of everything that happened the last 5 rounds so I could rewind successfully.
Yep. I was like, how do
So
I
if you ever wanted
create?
to-
I was like, how do I create Prince of Persia in a D&D combat?
If you ever wanted to do like a one-shot, like non-canon thing, we could fight him.
I mean, I wasn't even done building it because it was.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I'd be happy to bring it to fruition and we could, D&D Fight Club it, but yeah, that was starting to bend my brain. There's a League of Legends champion named Echo, and his ultimate ability, is he reverses the last 6 seconds of combat for just him. And the way that works is, as you move the sprite around the screen, there's like a shadow of him, like kind of like a time trial ghost from a racing game,
Yeah.
that mimics all of his actions that you did, but from 6 seconds ago. So at any time when you press your alt, you transport to that location, which is where you were 6 seconds ago, and you gain a bunch of health back, and it's like you take. You're in combat for 5 seconds, you take all this damage, you almost die, then you hit your alt, and you go back to wherever you were, which if you'd run in a circle could be in the same location, and then you basically just get a free heal. So I was like, how do I do something like that in D&D?
Okay.
Wow.
I was trying to homebrew something way more complicated than it needed to be. So I'm not upset. I'm not upset that you never got there. I'm also glad you never had to fight Celios Patinkin.
Also broken.
Do
I
you?
mean, never say never, but
Well, I'm trying to see. Do you guys expect to ever be in the arena again?
yeah.
Not if
I
we're
would
trying
say
to
we're heading away
change
from
time.
Stone.
Okay. All
But-
three.
I don't know if like I don't know. We may find out that Skiff is like trapped in there, and I want to go get him, or I don't know. I mean, like maybe they found out that we're trying to go back in time, so we meet them all at
All
Rogan's
right.
ruin.
All right. All right. I will
You're the
omit.
DM. You can make shit up.
I'll omit the information until it's pertinent.
Well, don't forget it, because I definitely want to know at some point.
I'm sure he's got
Well,
it written down.
at one point,
Yeah,
I'll just
no, I'm
share their
sure.
character sheets.
Yeah, perfect.
And we can go. Oh god, that would have been terrible.
Yeah.
It's a good thing 2 fireballs would do enough damage for that amount of hit points. Oh wait, he's immune to fire.
Of course.
All I'm gonna say is that they're not NPCs; they're PCs.
Okay. Nice. Well, in that case, I guess we'll let you go and say goodbye to the internet.
Yeah, let's go ahead and say goodbye to the internet. Thank you
Bye,
all
internet.
for joining us. I had a blast. I hope
I
you
hope
did
you
too.
can hear us this time.
Yes, no, audio was good. I checked that beforehand. Finally. Next week, are we diving back into Mike's campaign in our
Yes.
TikTok?
We're going back into the 1-shot, 2-shot, red shot, blue shot. That isn't actually a 1-shot anymore. It's an entire campaign, but I can't tell you the name of the world yet because you haven't figured it out. So,
I love it.
time will tell. I have.
Well,
What's frustrating is like I already have stuff built out that is like 8 sessions away that I'm excited for because of like the pace of things.
I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is gonna be so cool in like 3 months. So yeah.
Cool. All right, stream
Ready.
going down now.